Morning, everyone. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Hopefully some of you caught that CPI run. Super nice. All right, as always, daily chart. And we're breaking out after consolidation. So I want you to think about this. Sideways for a while, breakout, extension, start a new pump. This, sideways for a while, breakout, extension, start a new pump. All the way up here as possible. Don't have to do it today. Don't have to do it at all. But based on basically Bollinger Bands, elastic bands, right? They're trending up. We've reclaimed the 5-day. We've never once done a mean reversion since last month, which is impressive. And we're starting to drift higher on this CPI news. Now the print, it wasn't particularly hot, wasn't particularly cold. There was no like big outlier numbers. So at the moment, it's just in a sort of drift higher stage. So we've got to see what we got. But main trend, as we know, is upside. All right, main trend remains upside right now. You don't want to fight the tape. Let's go on to these hourlies. So you can see I've now changed. The top of this box has now become blue. Why? Because resistance. Okay, resistance, breakout, pullback, held, breakout, pullback, held. We are in drift higher. Right, that's what the market is trying to do right now. It's just trying to keep going higher. Now, what is some of the problem? Well, if we come back into this range, you've got to think most buyers here have positioned themselves here since, well, the best part of a month now, definitely the best part of 2 weeks. All right, so all of this liquidity has been looking for this long. These guys down here, there's your break. There's this move we had yesterday and last night. So they're looking for this long. As long as we hold, all right, where we broke out from, we're thinking about moves higher. If we start failing this level and get stuck into the range, not only am I thinking about a short, but I'm thinking about a short to the edge of the range and then probably extending it lower, because this then will become a failed breakout and we'll be looking for that play back to the other side, which by then will look like this. Now, does this need to play out today? No, it doesn't even need to play out at all. I'm just making you aware of the two things that are here: dip and rip, or failure and full rotation. Okay. Location right now, not the best to buy. Unfortunately, overnight, we'll have a look here. You can see 30-minute chart. Nvidia came out with some news here. Giant pump. Pull back into golden zone, into your RBS. There's the hold, grind, CPI extension. Okay, so yesterday's value, as long as we're printing above these levels here, really, 23,070, yesterday's point of control, 23,050, then technically from higher time frame, we're looking for a move higher. We are gapping up, all right? So remember, we are gapping up. Do not get confused thinking that this needs to wash. We are gapping up, and it's a strong gap up. What's that? Good couple 100 points there. So gap fill, reversal in the morning would probably be a pump for the first 15 to 30 minutes and a fill down to here, which can then still be bought back up. Obviously, if we fail that, that's when we're looking for the reversal. Right now, I'm not looking bearish at the open. If we push and fail, I'll consider it. But the higher time frame really is not looking bearish. All right, let's go on to the lower time frame charts. Now, if you're wondering what these are, because we're in price discovery, these are measured moves. Okay, these are measured moves or fib moves. I go to a 15-minute chart. You can see 151, 161. They are just based on the fib of this range from the old high to the low. All right, so I'm just looking at the extensions of this range. If we start extending into here, I'd expect some profit taking. It might not happen, but I certainly don't want to be getting long, a new money long up there, because you're asking for trouble. We're extended at that point. Okay. Let's have a look at what else we have going on here. ES doing the same thing. All right, old highs up here. You're looking at exactly the same kind of levels on ES. You want it to hold these, which it is so far this morning, for an extension higher. And you'd be thinking about the push. Any failure of these, then rotation back down, close the gap. Let's have a look at the VIX. VIX is interesting. All right, the one thing I'm slightly concerned about on the VIX is this bottoming formation here. All right, we failed this pivot, but there's your high low, high low. There's your trend. It's trying to get up to here. Now, I would say at some point, it again doesn't need to happen today, but at some point, we are likely to see a breakout on the VIX. The reason being that we're trading. I clean this up. You can let me clean it up. We are trading into a big area down here. All right, at some point, I think the VIX gives a turn, right, and we have a bit of a sell day on the market. We don't know when, but I would say that that's coming in the not too distant future. Just given that we're on all-time highs, at some point when they're like, okay, enough's enough, we need to hedge a bit. VIX probably comes up here, market goes on a bigger pullback day. Again, doesn't need to be today. I'm just making you aware of what's going on. Let's have a look at the mag. All right, Apple. Nothing spectacular there. Inside previous day's range. Nothing to look at really. Microsoft, same thing, actually gapping down inside previous day's range. Amazon gapping up, trying to take out previous day's high right now. Is that all-time high? No. Amazon's interesting. Needs to build liquidity up here now against that all-time high, but starting to break out of at least this range that is created since Friday last week. This looks very bullish for an extension on Amazon. Goog trying to get back up towards yesterday's high. That big push at the open. Still inside range. Meta inside range, same thing. Trying to get back up towards these highs from yesterday. Test the supply, see if we can get through it. Nvidia, massive gap, like we said. Big news last night. Off to the races. Beautiful. You just want to see Nvidia try and hold its gains. Nvidia starts failing 171, 170. Don't be surprised to see a bigger dive back down because there's no structure here. All right, this is all-time high. There's your gap up. It might well need to come revisit these levels. Tesla, inside previous day's range, but holding quite nicely here. All right, just RBS, trying to get back up towards here. Looks pretty good, but still a bit of a mixed bag in the mag, given what we're looking at. It's just a big buy coming in on the NQ. And you see that big buy market order coming in, pushing the market up. So that's what that alert was. QQQs, just want to see that if there's any divergence here. QQQs pushing all-time highs. SPY is not through its pre-market high yet. Neither is the ES. So slightly weaker there. Slight divergence there. YM, by the way, is basically flat. That previous day high, but basically flat. Let me have a look at the RTY. RTY looks good. So NQ definitely market leader this morning. That will all be about Nvidia. Let's see what everyone in chat is saying. Make sure you hit that poll. Let me know what you're thinking at the open. Always interested to see your thoughts. Good morning, everyone joining. Morning, Richard, Jeff, Jesse, Miguel, Toby, Thumper, Coop, ERF, Trader Don, Willa Williams, Brandon, Richard, Trentry, Ryan, Ken, Firewater, DK, Peter, Leron, Moby, Exister, Coop, Christy, BU, Eva, Capt. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so most of you at the moment think we're in a pump to dump. You think we're going to pump up at the open and then dump the rest of the day. Some of you feeling we're in a pump all day mode. 17% of you think we're going to dump at the open. So most of you thinking there's at least going to be a push at the open. And then, well, then we're just going to have to see. So let's end that poll. We're going to end that poll in 1 minute. If anyone's not voted and you want to vote. Very interesting. Most of you thinking pump and dump. Very interesting for CPI thinking pump and dump. I have no idea. I'm going to be honest. We're in price discovery. CPI in price discovery. We're not crazy extended either. Remember, this is the first time we're broken out of that range. So let's see what we do today. Morning, Capt. Morning, John Lucan. If I get a phone call from the vet today, then I might have to jump off stream just for a minute. I'll leave the stream up, but just so you're aware, folks. Hopefully not, but just in case that happens, just making you aware. And get a tissue and be right back. We have 3 minutes till the open. Did any of you catch that CPI print? Did any of you get any of it? I got a little bit of it. I played it both ways, actually. I took a bit of this fade back under Globex into here and then got long on this breakout back to the upside. Just scalped small size. Luna's being a trooper. We've got some complications, but she's being a tough cookie. So we just got to take it one day at a time at the moment. I would say no major imbalances, right? We obviously had one for CPI, which was here, and we came back and filled it. This level here is of interest. We've got basically a triple low down there. High, low, high, low, high, low, but barely. So basically relative equal lows. I'm interested in how we operate around there and VWAP. So I'm profit taking here at the open. Nice, Richard. Great work. Fantastic work. That's what I like to hear. All right, folks, 1 minute left. Expect some volatility at the open, okay? CPI day, expect some volatility. We've broken out of the old range, but any shorts who were shorting that old range are now trapped. So we expect some level of volatility. And we have to see if buyers come in, if they're exuberant to continue this higher, or if that print was pretty much in line, which it was. There was no big outliers if we just go back into the range. So do me a favor, hit that like button nice and early. If we get up to 100 likes today, we'll do a giveaway. Have a quick look at the book here. Zoomed out, are there any huge levels? I mean, there's a seller all the way up at 23,500. Downside buys 23.50. Other than that, not too much on the book right now. Most of the liquidity on ES is upside. All right, folks, here we go. Come on. Please don't do this to me. Big drive here. Clearing out the highs on both markets. VIX, interestingly, into its uptrend right now. So it's just one thing I'm watching carefully. Morning, Raf. Push and fail so far this morning. Mag all up, everything green. Nvidia, the big one here, 3.8% up. Is coming back to test that 170 we talked about. If it starts failing here, you might get some major sell pressure in the market as it drifts into its gap. So just be cautious. This is what we were just talking about pre-market on 170. It's going to need to hold these levels. If it doesn't, it's got at least a $2 drop to 168 at least. Remember, it's gapping up, so it has gap fill potential. There's 170 break. This is potential now. Big break of 170, 169. So if they reclaim 70, we go on a squeeze. If they don't reclaim 70, there is sell side pressure here potential, which is starting to see. So Nvidia pulling back, just adding to the sell side pressure in NQ right now. Where's my New York Open? Just make sure we get that in. And let's do an anchor as well. I've got to do the same on Ninja Trader. Bear with me, folks. 1 bar. Okay, so Nvidia trying to reclaim 70s, reclaiming it now. This is the game, like we said this morning. All eyes are on that because that was a big part of that gap up. Before CPI last night, if you were trading it, you would have seen it. Big gap up. Coming back to test Globex here. Feels heavy on the tape. Feels heavy. See if they pin it here on Globex and re-scoop it. Yep. Unsurprising. Nvidia now 171, so reclaimed it. Q's into their view up here, as in QQQ, and the spiders the same. All right, so ETFs into view up. We're just in this grindy part on the hourly and 30-minute here, just waiting for a bit of direction. I don't want to get chopped up here this morning. Indexes at VWAP starting to sell through their VWAPs right now. Then we're just coming into this level that we bounced off this morning. Just be aware of that. You are only 4 minutes into the day, folks. You got a long day ahead of you. Feeling a bit heavy here on the ETFs, especially spiders. Spiders look heavy here. Do they find a dip and rip this back upside at this point? They are under their VWAPs at the moment. We are underneath Globex at the moment. There is possibly a trade down to VWAP and below here if they start getting going. Your lower time frame algo, we're back into the Globex range. VIX finding a bid off that trend line that I showed you this morning, okay? One thing I said I was concerned about, especially those in Discord, literally posted it. Have a look at VIX finding a bid off that so far. So a time frame algo here, folks. It's jumpy. We've got a jumpy book right now. Be very careful. Only 5 minutes in. So ES sweeping this internal low and Q sweeping this internal low as well. Watching to see if the next push up is faded into Globex or around here for continuation lower. Are they looking to sell this back down at this point? If we had an over exuberant market, or if we start reclaiming up here, then we know that buyers are taking control and this is the dip to rip at that point. So just trying to be patient. Greatly appreciate your Q&A live stream you did earlier. Oh, thank you, Mo. That's very kind of you. Just seen that. Mo with the gift. I'll grab a coffee later with that. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. All right, so the ETFs currently are underneath their VWAPs. The futures are above their VWAPs. VIX found a bid on that trend line. We went over pre-market. And here is the push up to test Globex. Now, do sellers come in here? I'd say, that's that 5 minute balance, up to sort of 200. If we start reclaiming 200, that would be a reclaim of New York, and then we start going to the upside. Nvidia now 5% up. Right, Nvidia trading at 172. So that dip under 170 this morning was it. This is exactly what we talked about pre-market. Meta, the only one red on the day so far. So I'll give you a readout. Tesla 0.5% up. Nvidia almost 5% up now. Google 0.30% up. Amazon 0.12% up. So just about green. Microsoft just about green, holding on. Apple 1% up. Meta 0.25% down. So the weak ones so far: Microsoft, which might be going green to red here, Amazon, and Meta. Trapped between the two, between VWAP and lower time frame algo right now, folks. All right, trapped between the two right now. That last push up on ES got sold into the SPY VWAP. QQQ peaked through. Are they going to do it barefoot? This is what we were just talking to. If I wasn't reading that out, probably would have had a little attempt up here. I mean, 20 points too low at this point, but made sense. VWAP, flow zones, potential bear flag, break down to next level. If they reclaim those levels up there, then it's no good. I've missed that opportunity. Sorry, folks. This COVID cough will not go. There's your breakdown. So if we're going to go for Globex lows, you're looking at 130s. Or at least the London lows, you're looking at 130s. This white line. God, it must be so loud on the mic. I'm really sorry. So SPY just trapped between lower time frame algo and VWAP. QQQ the same thing right now. They're just building between these. B-Tool says, I hope everyone is green. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'm a little bit green from pre-market, but that's it. Waiting for an opportunity here to see what this market wants to do. Moment, just a bit of profit taking in the morning. No panic selling or anything like that. Just a bit of profit taking. I'm starting to see a bit of sell pressure here. probably missed that opportunity into the VWAP, so just trying to be patient now. So 50s here, you're likely to get 30s, I would say. They want that London low at this point. VWAP coming up here. So SPY in sync, sorry, ES in sync with NQ, both coming into VWAP exactly the same times. Lots of buys here, 40s, 30s, all around there, like we talked about. There's the sell through. Are we going to keep going? Joining this like yesterday, if it's going to let me, like yesterday, get errors, but not so bad as yesterday. So locking in small scalps here. And 2 of them are still open. So this is a bit of a worry. See if we can close that off. There we go. Oh, you got to love a copier. All right, so that 30s, that white line now been taken. Remember, we were talking about this earlier. These players here. And if we stay heavy versus that, remember, this is high time frame demand down here. This is the old all-time highs that we broke out of. So run to liquidity has happened. Stolen that London liquidity. You can see on the London chart, we've stolen that London liquidity. What we do now is important. Do we hold in this higher time frame, or do we get very heavy and come back down to Asia? If we come back down to Asia and reject the higher time frame demand, we're going to go lower on the day. If we hold at any of this area, this is just going to be seen as a trap, washing these guys out to come back up. My aim today is just to get back in the hot seat and trade nice and smooth after yesterday. Not trying to make it all back in a day. Just if there's a setup there, we take it. If there's no setup there, we don't take it. Simple as that. Okay, VIX into its previous day low here, folks. So it's bounced off that lower trend line into that previous day low. We have swept that London, filled a little imbalance, and starting to try and reclaim point of control on this session. Watching these VWAPs above us. All right, I'm watching VWAPs, watching New York Open, watching Globex high. Remember, low hanging fruit was those London lows, which we just took. So halfway there to 100 likes. Remember, we will be giving away an Apex account on stream. Maybe we'll give away 50% off the course as well, because I did say I was going to do that last Friday and we didn't meet the criteria. So rejecting flow zones and in front of VWAP right now. But again, we took the liquidity of the lows. So I'm cautious over thinking about a new short at the moment. And here's your engulfer back up. So if they hold this, they have the chance to pivot. If they let go of this, then we come and attack this demand down here. Trapped between, so far we're trapped between the New York VWAP and the 24-hour VWAP. New York VWAP, 24-hour VWAP. And anything under here was a sweep, remember. We were looking for this white line to get taken. We swept. Now we're just trapping between the two. God, it feels bad today. Very tired. Too much stress the last week with my dog. Really starting to affect me. I can feel it. must get to the gym today. It's absolutely vital. And go and do some weights and cardio. All right, opening range now set. We're sort of trying to trade back towards 50% of that opening range. Those white lines on the chart, which just came on, that's your opening range. We're trading into that New York VWAP and flow zones for now. All of the mag currently green, folks. Right, Tesla 0.77% up, Nvidia 4.39% up, Meta 1/3%, Google just under 1/4%, Amazon 0.20%, Microsoft just under 0.5%, and Apple 0.82%. So mag is green as we go for these reclaims. Here comes your Globex, previous Globex high and flow zones. If they start reclaiming the top side of this, remember this is a dip to rip. This is a clean out to go higher. If they fail up here, you want to be cautious. But at the moment, they're showing signs that they want to try and take and create new highs. These are just interesting levels. I'm not trading around these levels. Just going to let them make their decision. When it's clear and obvious, I'll join in. Plenty of time left. Interestingly, SPY very weak. Morning, Tyson. ES rejecting its VWAP here, and SPY very weak. So we've got divergence to NQ with that. If SPY is going to make a bear flag here and make a new low, it might drag the market down with it. If it holds this bottom and doesn't break down, these are the areas shorts get trapped in. We talk about this kind of trade all the time, don't we? Liquidity on the ES at 23s and 21s right now to the downside, and then 31, 33, 35. There is a 310 buyer, bigger buyer, lower. So here is the wash. Does ES break the lows here? This is like sort of the key now. If we get a snap of those lows like this, NQ to VWAP, seeing if we can trade lower here, see if we can get to previous week high, holding VWAP for now. ES new low of day. So you've got slight divergence here. Just be careful if NQ is unwilling to break, but ES so far breaking the lows. No worries, Tyson. Yeah, I thought, sometimes videos like that can be more useful than trading live because you get to see, an honest opinion of what I did and how I acted and what I could do better and all these things. But for the most part, there were elements of a loss of control, not as in I'm trading with a loss of control, but you can see that I go on tilt. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, yesterday I had an unnecessary loss due to trade copy issues. And it definitely caused me to be tilty, but I controlled it and I walked away. So NQ, failing to break the lows there, ES breaking the lows. So you've got divergence here on the tape. Just be careful. These are the areas shorts will get trapped in if it doesn't break down. It's what we just talked about. Yeah, I'm glad it was useful. Yeah, totally exister. That's exactly it. I think I figured out what happened, so I talked about it in the video. But it's one of the things when you use a limit order. I think one account got filled and nothing else did. So basically, that's what caused me to flip, and then it left those old orders in and picked them up the next time round, just to doubly worsen my day. But it's okay. I can laugh about it now because I'm just like, well, it was a controlled loss. I'm up on most of my accounts about 140 bucks so far this morning. So I can just chip away at that a couple of days, and it will be like it never happened. Here's VWAP again, folks. ES trading around low of day again. Nvidia coming back to that 170 low. Sort of 150 area key, this VWAP key. They let this go, I would not be surprised for us to trade lower. If they trap here and they fail to break the lows, then shorts will get trapped and will probably come and retest that New York Open. But if they let this go, there is a chance, if we look left, to tap into this demand block. This is old all-time high and down here. If all they're going to do is sweep this morning and reclaim and hold this, then I expect us to come back up here. But I'm not going to bid the lows on this if there's sell pressure. I'm just going to wait. I'll join it once I know shorts are completely trapped and we're up here building liquidity to go higher. Happy to join it at that point. VIX rejecting previous day low, peaked through it, coming back inside at the moment. So what we do here, key, if VIX starts breaking out above previous day low, it's going to go and try and close its gap, and that will increase sell pressure in the markets. Here's the pullback to VWAP again. So we're just stuck between New York VWAP and 24-hour VWAP, blue line and green line. We are stuck building liquidity between these right now. Asthmatic. Oh, folks, I might have to go and get some cough mixture here. Bear with me because I can't breathe. Oh, sorry, team. Don't want to be coughing all stream. All right, nothing's changed here. Trading at POC, having swept the London lows. ES making a new low of day when we did this move here. All right, so ES, you have divergence here. You have divergence here. ES did this and then back up. And it's trading sideways here. So it's decision time for this market. What's the time here? Coming up to that new hourly and 4-hour bar. Maybe we get a move post that. Starting to see some tapering. This is your main channel at the moment. Something like this. VWAP again here. We are into an hourly imbalance here after sweeping out those lows. We've almost gone wick to wick with the candle at midnight. That midnight candle. Right here. This at the moment is probably your swing low. High, low, high. This here is key. It's a bit lackluster, isn't it? 99-point range, not too bad, but we've just stopped. Market's just stopped again. Yeah, the CPI print VWAP, yeah, cannot get above it. I have my CBI print up here, like 77s. I haven't put it on this this one here, but up at 77s ish. Well, it's just 77 so far. Basically, the orange line, just beneath the orange line. Still stuck between these VWAPs. Book looks really mixed at the moment. It's not. There's not like there's a big buyer hanging to get like a magnet anywhere. We haven't seen that for a little while now, I would say. Seeing the same thing that we've done every day for like weeks now. Market does one move at the open and then just goes into wedge for quite a long period of time. Just seems to be doing the same thing over and over and over again at the moment. James Scroll, love your TPO video. Thanks. Hey, no worries, man. No worries. Remember, if we're going for gap fill today, we're going to go all the way down to 20,036 if they want to do that. Here's VWAP again for the millionth time this morning already. Gap fill's a long way away. Oh, and down here with previous day's anchor, previous day high. I'm not saying it does it. At the moment, we're in a gap and go formation, but if it wants to roll over, that's where it can go. Nvidia back at that 170 test. If they start selling this and Nvidia goes for gap, then this might get heavy. Yes, trying to break down and test a new low here. It's 170 on Nvidia sticky is very, very key. They snap this, then obviously we go to opening range low, which is coming now, beautiful. Be careful if they don't break the low here on NQ and ES does, you've got divergence again here, like the third time this morning already. We're trying to see if we can get down to that opening range low, and then we're looking if it really wants to go gap fill. And the NQ has just made a new low of day. ES not there yet. Come on. Heading back in towards London lows at the moment. No sell pressure on NQ coming. Watching ES carefully in case it reclaims after making a new low. Meta now red on the day. Nvidia sticky just under that 170. I think it's coming here, but who knows. New low ES. So we're trading the stronger asset short side here. Not the best thing to do, to be honest, on NQ. Here we go. Come on. This was a level that we held last night, just before midnight on ES, just be aware. So after with the big pump, they pulled it all the way back. This is like your first inverse right shoulder. Thanks, Coop. Yeah, new H1, H4. Good eyes. Good eyes. Still rejecting VWAP on NQ now. Looking to see if we're going to move lower now that it's pushed and failed. There we go. Come on. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's orb. Covering some there. So protecting the orb low here. Coming back into high time frame demand. Remember, this is the old highs. Zoom out. Make sure you understand if they hold this. Right, these are the old highs. You can probably bring this down to here. All right, resistance, resistance, resistance. It's possible it becomes support. We don't know because it's the first time of testing it, but it's possible. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. All right, holding on to that orb so far, no breakdown beneath it. Remember, you got previous week high, old daily and all-time highs just underneath, which means they might act as areas of support. There is liquidity lower right now on the book. 120 and 100 are on the book. I can see them on the book. Again, you're into a new hourly bar here. Market is all green other than Meta, folks. All right, it's all green other than Meta. I expect there to be some bids hanging out around here. If they start covering before that, these bids might get forced to sort of chase the market up. We're going to see. Time will tell. Interestingly, 5-day is right at gap fill for the SPY. Where is it on the Qs? Same. It's testing this opening range low. So far, it's still protecting it. There's the break on ES. ES coming into previous day high here, folks. We're trading in and around previous week high here at the moment. This red line's previous week. This red line's previous day. Would not be surprised to see a reaction here, but look at VIX now through previous day low. So VIX doing everything we talked about. It's now trading into its gap fill potential, and VIX now another 20 cents higher if it wants to get going. This is what I was talking about on VIX. We talked about it pre-market. We talked about it in Discord. You have to be careful because VIX was showing this right here. All right. Higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. A good chance of a bounce here. It is. It's now trading up here. So trading back to VWAP now. Off previous day high on ES. So ES hit previous day high. That will be a big possible support level, like we talked about. Same level as we were looking here on NQ. ES got there. And here come the bids. Like I said, if we don't get there and they push up like they are now, then those limit orders, they might get forced to chase the market up here. They might think, oh, you're going to leave without me. And NVIDIA reclaiming 170 again. It's a dance here this morning, folks. You are just inside. You are inside Globex. All right. You're inside Globex and you're inside your opening range currently. So technically not in a trend day at the moment. We're gap up. We filled some of the gap. We have to see what's next. 118 of you watching this right now. At least half of you have not hit that like button. Do me a favor, smash that like button for me. What kind of dancing is this? What should we call it? The NQ shuffle? The NQ shuffle. If you have a look, we go to ES again. All right, we've traded right into old highs. All right, so what's this? Resistance, resistance, pullback, breakout, became support, go up, wash these guys out, retest, become support. So we're going to drift into here now. Question is, do they sell this back down or do they do full reclaim for this move? Everything we talked about pre-market is what it's good to have a plan, good to understand market dynamics, how a market moves. If you don't understand that, lots of free education on my channel you can go and check out. I have just launched a complete beginner's course. It's more for people who do not want to actively trade but are interested in buying some stocks and stuff or crypto long term and you've never looked at a chart before. It's a beginner friendly course on there for you. As you can hear, someone's clearly tried to break into a car outside my window. How to drive Alex insane. Have a look at this. Can you guys hear that? The alarm or not? It doesn't show on the mic line. Hopefully you can't hear it. That's good. It's very loud. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. In the hood. Well, you know where I live. It's a very hood. Okay, stuck between these two. Again, like compression between New York and 24-hour. Still going. Thank God it stopped. Thank the Lord. Okay, starting to see this inverted head and shoulder. They're going to try and do this squeeze up here. ES relative weakness right now. They can do it if they want, but we're trading into POC at the moment. Big level that we're trading into right here. If you look at an hourly bar, that I can just show you rather than just say that. You can see it right here. Massive level. Resistance, 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 resistance. Broke out, used it as support. Broke out, failed under it. Come back, test it. Do we fail this or do we reclaim this? They are adding liquidity on the book up higher, up into 95s at the moment. Here we go. So they're searching for that 95s if they can get going here. Like we talked about, this is a massive, massive level high time frame at the moment on an hourly. Reclaiming VWAP. ES cannot get going. QQQ with the strength. Spiders look weak. You got divergence here, folks. Yep, here we go. Coming into it again here. Quite right, Coop. And Globex again. So sellers here, 85, 90, 95, and 200. Yes, trying to join the party. A bit of liquidity here, probably short stops from this morning here around 85s, if they can run them out. That's my stream gone. Oh, this thing keeps crashing. I'm going to have to buy a new one, man. Just seems like such a waste of money because I like never use it. Sorry. Thanks for you. New York open up here. Remember, if we start pumping up there, we would have caught the shorts off guard down here. Remember, we had divergence down here with ES. The one thing I'd say is ES is not even through its VWAP yet. Sorry. Lots of sellers here on the book looking to get filled. Right here. Well, those sellers have lifted and moved up higher now. Do you think we turn now to 1 hour fair value gap? I have down to 23,100. 23,100. Well, not really. It's not showing an impetus to do that at the moment. At the moment, what it's saying to me is the main trend is higher. We've taken the liquidity from the late buyers. We're holding this after sweeping. It has a chance to go higher. It's already come into this gap here. It's already tapped into it now. It wants to take out the highs if it can at this point. It just depends whether these lot want to go risk on or not. But I wouldn't necessarily be looking downside at the moment. We're higher time frame higher. We're lower time frame higher at this point, right? We flipped everything. We're trying to push higher at this point. If ES starts getting through its VWAP, you know, this thing's going to go bonkers to the upside. Just think about that. It's got a little way to go yet on the ES, but You know, we're putting in that inverted head and shoulder look, and we're just trying to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. That's what the market's trying to do right now. So flag break here, trying to get higher, isn't it? Same thing here. Swept the lows, trend break, higher low, hold of VWAP and flow zones, same thing, right? Using this liquidity to get up here. Once we get up here, probably get an extension because it's probably going to scare all the shorts out at that point. So here we go. Here's the drive. There's New York Open, folks. What ES does here will probably affect NQ. It's trading ES and SPY are trading into their VWAPs at the moment. If they start reclaiming, it's going to help the market go risk on. They keep rejecting. We might pull back down to here and then see if there are any buyers down there. At least that's like sort of how I would anticipate it. SPY clearly rejecting VWAP so far. Still liquidity up higher for NQ. Still wants to move higher at the moment. Oh, what's that level? 200s. 225s, 200s on the book. ES cannot get through its VWAP. That's the big divergence here, folks. So 2 attempts there, got slapped. Spiders absolutely slapped off that. So this is the pullback we just talked about. Do they hold this area and have another attempt? If they don't hold this area, then we rotate all the way back down to the lows. Again, you're in a rotational day. You're not in anything outside of a rotational day because you're inside Globex and you are inside, why can't I think, opening range. I always find it hard when they're so different. I look at the weakness in ES at the moment. I'd say NQ wants to move upside and can't because of ES. That's how I would sort of frame it at the moment. Flow zones here. If we get through, I'd say 84s, then we probably have this attempt at the 200s. Liquidity is still up there. 200s, 225s. There is liquidity up higher, but it's not worth talking about yet. If we can't get up through, there's no point. Oh my days. These have been terrible markets in the New York AM session. Absolutely terrible. No follow through. No real trend days. Yesterday actually wasn't too bad, but obviously I was on tilt. Yesterday was actually pretty good. Once we got outside, it was a fairly nice day if you think about what we did yesterday. Trap low, reclaim, push, pull, above initial balance, squeeze all day. Like, wasn't too bad. At the moment today, because the gap overnight is fairly significant, we've had profit taking in the day, and now we've got major divergences. NQ wants to move higher, and ES is just lagging behind. If ES starts going, then I think we're going to go breakout territory again on NQ, which is what it's trying to do at the moment. this is the level that we just talked about, 84, 85. Reclaim of that has got a chance to move higher. If it rejects that, we've probably put in lower high, lower low on a lower time frame. So if you're wondering why I said that level was important, it's just S&R. Right? Think about how we would draw this. We're coming back to test this, aren't we? If it gets through this, it goes. Otherwise, like I said, lower high, lower low possible, especially if ES keeps playing these silly games. Draw on liquidity, I feel, is up here right now. That's where it wants to get to. The seller here, 190, 200s, 225. Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds. Here we go. Come on. Come on, ES. Stop being rubbish. I have to respect what we're seeing here. ES and SPY cannot get through their VWAP. So they are in a sell. Technically, in this session, they are in a sell. Sellers are in control. NQ and QQQ is above a bit their VWAPs. So technically, they are in buys. So you have divergence between the markets at the moment. That will probably all be due to NVIDIA. I don't think anything else is up enough to make a big enough difference. Here's 190s. We're going to approach these 200s. ES stuck at those 25s. Can't get a break and hold above 25s at the moment. If it gets above 25s, then it's going 26.50, VWAP 27.50, liquidity hanging out at 30. Should get going here. Really, like I always say, it shouldn't be this hard, but it's summer trading. It was, yeah. That big pump at just before midnight, whenever it was, that was NVIDIA news. Lost my stream again. When I say summer trading, I mean these months, like literally the summer months, the volume leaves the market. So the old saying back in the day was May go away and basically don't come back till September. Because everyone goes on holiday, they can't be bothered to trade, and then you get these markets we've seen recently where they're drifty markets. There's not enough volume in them really. So it lacks follow through, and then this is what you get. Yeah, ES still cannot get through. It's trying to build to go, but I don't trust it right now looking at that chart. We're trying to build out. It's trying to build out here to get above New York Open and run this liquidity. That's what it's trying to do. It's It's just ES. It is making it very difficult, right? Big difference. ES looks weak, doesn't it? ES needs to do this for us to really have a really good slingshot to get going. Well, this is boring. Just sat inside the opening range. That's funny, Ryan. Did you get him back? You got your dog back, though. All right, ES weak, coming back down towards the lows at the moment. This market will not get going all the time. We're like this. There you go. There goes ES. Testing these lows again. This is a terrible market, folks. I'm sorry, but it just is not in sync. So either ES finds a bid here or we go into a sell with it. If ES starts slamming through low of day, previous day high, we go into a sell with it. If it finds a bid here, maybe NQ can finally get going. So one thing Luna's never done, actually, she's never lost her, she's never broken out. This is ridiculous, the difference between them. It would just be nice if one New York session was like had some range and did something. Like we've just broken out of like a balanced range which we've been in for ages, and this is the session. Like seriously, this is what we get after breaking out of a range. Oh, we're trading in like 40, 50 points. Like this is ridiculous. Absolutely, JD. Absolutely right. Absolutely. It's just, I think what's frustrating the most is stuff like this. Had this not happened, we probably would have had a good volume day on CPI. But instead, this broke out of the range, this had the nice move, and now we're stuck with this crap. You can't do anything about it. You get what you're given. Like, you can't force the market to do something. If that's the market we get, that's the market we get. All right, NQ is still trying to build to go on a bit of a tear to the upside. ES is hanging out at its low of day and looks absolutely terrible. You can see NQ really just wants to go and rip the highs. It's fairly obvious what it wants to do. It can't get going. Take care, Jack. Still liquidity up higher. NQ still wants to reach higher. ES is basing around its lows right now, looking very, very weak. Right, so ES is literally down here doing this right now, looking like it might want to do that. Yeah, exactly. YM 0.5% down, RTY 0.75% down. I'm telling you, this is all Nvidia. This is nothing else. We're propped up by Nvidia, which is currently trading at 171.80, so it's not looking like it wants to break down. Right, ES trading back down to previous day high, initial balance now set, and ES is right at its initial balance low. Yeah, definitely. It's different sector. Exactly. The weight on the indexes are different. All right, are we going to go into a sell at this point then? Yes, new lows. Lovely. Can you move my stop, please? Can you please move my stop? Thank you. Let's see if we can get through view up and go low of day now then. Lovely. Gap filled here on the ES, by the way, folks. Just be careful. SPY, ES just filled its gap. If that's its obligation, then it's done. That's all it wanted to do, then it's done. Again, divergence. We made a lower low on the market here on ES. In fact, so low that it came down to this level right here. That's the difference right now. Yeah, the ES looks very good. Nice work, Lee Kim. Looks very, very good. Just rejected flow zones all morning long. Filled the gap. Hit his 5-day. Bouncing off that for now. Lovely work. Yeah, lovely work, B-Tool. Yeah, ES looked a really good trader. Just couldn't get above the view up. Looked good. The downside like we talked about. It's filled its gap now, and you're seeing a reaction here for the first time today. Is back inside its initial balance. We're just trading right in 50% of the range. IB high, IB low, sorry, IB high. Basically, the IB is the same as the orb. We've not expanded outside the first 15 minutes of the day. Just think about that. The first 15 minutes of the day have set the range so far. We've not got out of it once. Enough to go to sleep, man. Video approaching 5% up now. Strong, strong, strong. Yeah, the sellers here. 180, 185, 200, 225, remember. NQ looks to me like it's trying to go upside. ES looks to me like it just wants to break down. We're protecting these lows so far on NQ. If you think about this, the trade down this morning, there's the little stop run, there's the double bottom, there's the big engulfing candle, there's the move. We're protecting this move after a sweep for now. I'll consider it if we start really showing a willingness to break down, but at the moment, the strength is fairly clear. We're protecting here. This is a trade back in. This wants to go upside. It just depends if it's got the juice today. It's going to struggle to go upside if ES is going to keep trading lower, that's for sure. So you can't be forcing your longs. So you just sit flat. If we start breaking down underneath those sort of 5-minute imbalances towards the lows and really starting to puke, then I'll think about it. But again, they're going to make it hard because if they break down under here, we know that these are levels where they might bid off, especially down here. So we might get a move. If we break down under here, I guess it's a good 100 points. So that's possible. That is possible. PDC hit again on ES, folks. Bouncing off it again. So it's protecting its PDC so far. Do they get a continuation trade short here? No lower low on ES under PDC. So far protecting. It is outside its initial balance, so it's breaking outside the IB low. How are we doing here? Let's do a little poll check, see how you're all doing. You green or red on day today, folks? See how you're doing. Isn't a lower time frame showing a bull flag? Yep, that's exactly what we keep talking about. This is showing a bull flag protecting this. Exactly what it is, trying to go higher. ES is not showing a bull flag, it's showing a bear flag trying to go lower. So you've got divergence. Look at ES. Look at the difference. Breakdown. Breakdown underneath IB. There's PDC. If it flushes PDC, NQ will move lower with it. If we can reclaim this, maybe NQ will move higher. But this is the divergence. You've got to understand how money moves in the market. You have to understand. The easiest days will be when these are aligned. At the moment, you've not got alignment. You've got VIX breaking out above previous day low, trying to close the gap to PDC. You've got ES bouncing between previous day high and PDC. And you've got NQ with relative strength. Very, very hard to think about a trade right now, I'd say. It feels like we might be going on a little walk down. I'm watching this now. So ES trying to grab off PDC again. view up again here. ESPDC again here. Is NQ going to wash lower day, or is this just a big trap and they're just going to go on a big old pumper when ES turns? This is the worry right now. And I can't tell you what the answer to that is. The book can't even tell me right now. ES swept lower day, trying to trade back inside now. Watching its approach to initial balance, if it does it. Interesting, SPY didn't actually sweep there, and ES did. Very interesting. The divergence between the ETFs and the futures. Look at everything, how it's just gone sideways. Look at the range. Here's the high. High, low, anchor view up, 24-hour view up, flow zones, lower time frame algo, Globex. No thanks. Yeah, please, darling. Your ATR is currently around 10 points. Feels like they want to go heavier here. They're going for lower day at this point. Or they have the opportunity to go for lower day, I should say. This is where they protected it this morning. ES starting to break down here. NQ being very resilient. The worry is if ES puts in a boner candle after a reclaim of PDC, then NQ is going to absolutely rip some faces. That's the worry. So ES trying to reclaim PDC. Your shorts here look okay. I just have one eye on that ES. If you wash this, okay, then I think you got to be careful of the old highs. What I'm looking at is this. Resistance, resistance, resistance. All right, thank you. If they hold up as support, if they wash it, then we can come all the way back down here. But you want to be careful making sure you're paying yourself into these pockets if they wash that much. But I'd say it's very tricky down here. Be very, very cautious. Yeah, VIX pushing, trying to close its gap, isn't it? Trying to close its gap. Oh, that's a strong coffee. Holy. That is a strong coffee. All right, this is what this is what we're just talking about. All right, this is your strong demand. How do we know? This is where we ripped off. This is why I'm saying be very careful. And these are all areas that can hold and hold. Main trend is still up. Oh my gosh. I've got to put some sugar and milk in this, folks. Thanks, Miguel. So Miguel posting some Tesla news there. Yeah, Beetle. I mean, we've had extra liquidity, or not liquidity, I'd say, but we've had extra volatility this year. I mean, just look at what's happened this year in terms of news events. Unprecedented times. We're not used to trading with, the tariff news, the not knowing. I think a lot of the stop start right now is just the not knowing, like we've talked about. We won't go into it again. Here's ES trying to reclaim the initial balance. Remember, this is what I was just talking about. This is why I was like, I don't feel great about the short on NQ. This is exactly why. I just did it. Yeah, I've done it. I've put no. I mean, yeah, we've always had. I mean, news fundamentals drive markets, right? So we've always had news that drives markets. That's no different. Every year's like that. I guess it's the type of news. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Vibe check on this poll then. Oh, 58% of you green. It's not bad. Not the best, but it's not bad. I'm not surprised by that because it's kind of a sideways market. Honestly, I don't think we're sideways because of CPI. Although what I would say is this hourly candle is interesting. Anyone who trades SNR, we're just balanced between sort of here. What is a good mouse, folks? Because my mouse is starting to really pee me off. Anyone got a mouse that they really like? I really like my keyboard. I got the Corsair keyboard. Coop put me onto that. Maybe they do a mouse. Mickey Mouse. Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Logitech. Logi Mouse. Is there one? Is there like a specific model that's good though? That's like that you enjoy trading with. Does everyone understand like why I'm not super interested right now? I'd love to see this breakdown at this point. The problem is that this has taken and is trying to build. If this rejects and goes on a big waterfall moment, fine. But at the moment, there's the steal of PDC. If we do this and come back up here, NQ might have the juice to go higher. So it's not. I'm always looking for confluence, as you know, and it's not giving me confluence in trade thesis right now. ES having another attempt at the lows here. ES going high time frame algo, finding some absorption there at the moment. Are we going to run these lows now in Q? Initial balance coming up here on NQ, by the way, folks. Yes, staying heavy. There's your IB. There's your lower day. Just be careful. This is high time frame demand around here, just underneath those blue boxes. High time frame demand, previous week high, previous day high. Come on, mouse. Make it really hard for me. Glorious Model O. Okay, I'm going to have a look at that. Thanks, dude. So previous week high, tapping into it now or towards it now. No breakdown underneath initial balance for now. If we get really heavy, there is a chance we go for Asia, but you're gonna, it's not going to do it all the time. Nvidia's holding up. Yeah, I do like wired. I'm wired in now. I like everything wired just so I know it's in. I never use anything wireless trading. Just, man, you see me and tech don't get on. So I'm very, very careful, let's say. Maybe overly careful. I remember about 2.5 years ago, I was trading 20 Apex accounts. Some of you on here, Coop, you might remember this. Trading about 20 Apex accounts, and I was probably up about $4,000 in each of them and due a payout. And I was in a trade, and back then I didn't use brackets, I don't think. And the internet, not just in my building, in my whole area went down. And I had to like run to the local pub to try and use theirs, and it was off. So I had to go onto Apex and manually cancel it. And oh my God, the damage was massive. Massive. Mentally, that took me a little while to recover from. All right, previous week, high time frame demand here. We are still getting weak. ES is breaking down. ES is a really nice trader today. It's breaking down really nice for you. So I never like anything wireless, and now I always use brackets and things like that for that reason. Yes, coming into that 6,300 level. This is where we had bids on ES overnight. I want to check it's overnight. Yes, this is where we pumped from. This is the origin of the Nvidia pump where we're into right now on ES. It's the equivalent of NQ trading to 23,000 flat right now. So we're 120 points higher effectively than where ES is. Raphael, by brackets you mean ATS? Yeah, exactly. It's a bracket order. So when you place a trade, it puts your stop and take profit in instantly. Picking some of yesterday. I'm glad for that, Alex. Picking some. What do you mean there, Raphael? Sorry, I don't fully understand. Buy here at 100s. They're looking to take him out. Tell you what's scary is there's not much else on the book. Oh, making some money today. Yeah, I'm just taking base hit kind of days. I was thinking, get some money in the bank and go again. So yes, I'm green, small greens, not massive, but green on all my accounts here. As you can see, just like some of them are bigger than others. 6, 4s, threes, twos, but just edging my way back. I'm very conscious that a big part of me is like, just make it all back. You can make it all back in one trade. And what I'm trying to do is not submit myself to that feeling and just know, hey, if you get a base hit day under your belt, you're going to feel a lot better about life. So another day like this, or a little bit more or whatever, and then like it never happened, which is why it's really important. We talked about it in the video. I knew I wouldn't be able to do this yesterday. There's no way. I was on tilt. I would have made bad decisions. I would have oversized. And I think Coop posted something really good in Discord. I will share it with you guys. Again, my mouse is starting to die here. I've got to figure out what's going on. Really like what Coop posted yesterday. This image here. It was like, this is what Alex did. Come on, mouse. On the right chart. So the pain of discipline. So yesterday, I had some pain from being disciplined yesterday. Where did the discipline come from? It came from not revenge trading, not trying to make my money back. But if I'd revenge traded and oversized and made mistakes and blown that accounts, the pain of regret, all right? As soon as I got out those trades and blew everything, I would have had a huge amount of pain. I think Coop absolutely nailed that. Never seen that before. Really good. Really, really good. So new breakdown, new lows. Remember, we are in higher time frame, potential higher time frame demand. Look at your daily, look at your hourlies, look at where we are. Big level. Think about this, big level. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It can become support. We've tested it once. I am more interested, higher time frame, I'm more interested in the short if we do this. Yep. If we get back under this range, because this is where we broke out from. Remember, we couldn't break out, we couldn't break out, we couldn't break out, we couldn't break out, we couldn't break out. Yes, they break out, and we confirmed it by a new push. If we come well under and fail the rejection, I will be thinking about a short. And that might be tomorrow at this point. But you want to be careful they don't just absorb this for a new high. Just like this, dum, 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 dum. They can still make a new high here. So I'll give you a readout on the mag here. Tesla 1.15% down, Nvidia 4.25% up, Meta 0.91% down, Google 0.59% up, Amazon flat, Microsoft 0.35% up, Apple 0.36% up. So max mixed bag there, as you can see. You're starting to see a little bit of a reaction here, folks. All right, we need 21 more likes and we'll do some giveaways here. I'll tell you what, because I'm feeling like I'm trying to be calm today. You can see it. You'll notice a different temperament in me today. I'm very focused on being calm, not letting yesterday affect me. So we'll do a live Q&A. Let's do a Q&A while the market's moving. And if I don't answer it straight away, I'll get back to it. But anything you need answering, I will have a look at. We'll try and get through as many as we can. So we're in high time frame demand. As a reminder, that blue box we're in right now is high time frame demand. It is a possible RBS level. Would not be looking for a new money short in a possible RBS level. You're asking to get squeezed like we talked about. The short was down into that area. They made it very difficult with the divergence. Sorry, that was probably mega loud. I should have muted the mic there. My apologies. Man, this is getting worse and worse by the second. Okay, that's it. Ordering a mouse now. What did you lot say was a good one? Logitech, and Coop said a D something. Model D. Gets here tomorrow. Okay. Job done. Wired, right? Model D wired. Bye. Thanks, Coop. Done. Wasn't willing to wait anymore. This thing's failing me. Yeah, I have Corsair. My controller, my keyboard is Corsair. I really like it. I like the hotkeys on it. Yeah. That I posted. Hopefully, it shows. Can you see that? I posted like a let me know anything you want me to answer here. So I posted it. Just type in. Which I don't know what model this is called. It's the one with the G buttons on the left side. Maybe they all have that. I don't know. Try and read some of your stuff here. Sorry, folks. If I'm slow, it's because I literally, when I'm dragging stuff at the moment, it's not moving. So it's hard for me to like get back to chat and see what's being said. Let's try and open this up. See what you are all saying. Order two. That's not bad advice. Order two. Well, I can keep this one as backup. It's not completely ruined, but it's not behaving that nicely. Okay, by the way, folks, VIX filled its gap into supply, finding failures. All right, so let's go back to VIX, what we talked about this morning. Why do I look at multiple charts at the same time? Just think about what VIX has done this morning. 5-minute chart. Filled its gap. Right, so this morning we're talking about higher low, higher low, higher low. Put a trend line on here, channel, you will see. If we start squeezing on the VIX, it can get all the way up here. But if its objective was to fill the gap and trade back down, it's going to trade to 17s. Market would go sideways for a bit. So you're in auction versus failed auction territory with higher time frame RBS beneath you.
Okay, I found this on the web for auction versus auction territory.
Oh, thanks, Siri. I don't remember saying your name. Always listening. They're always listening. God, this mouse is dead. It's completely dead. Let's mute this before I... God, thank you. I wouldn't have seen that. Wouldn't have seen that. What I was saying is we have delta divergence. Positive delta on NQ at the moment, and today in the session, negative on ES. ES in like a 10-point range. We tapped into this RBS level that we went over. This is higher time frames. This was why I was saying you cannot be looking for a new money short down here. If you were taking shorts up here, looking for that rotation, these are cover points for you. That's why they're blue boxes. We respect the charts. We respect the blue boxes. ES did the same move. It came deeper into that blue box, and now it's going back to PDC. If it starts reclaiming PDC, initial balance, etc., etc., we know what it can do. ES has got a very nice downtrend on it so far today. You can put it in. If you go from the high of like 920 this morning and look at each of those pivots, it's respecting it and it's coming up to test it now. And Q, I'd imagine, doesn't look so pretty, but we can have a look. Something like that. Okay, and you can afford to just wait. Unless you're playing an initial balance long, legit setup. You're playing the initial balance long, but your target prices are here. If you're playing the other long, I'll be waiting for this and this. But flow on the day, quite clearly downside. You got sound now, right? Yeah. Market just slowed right down. Still inside. Look, failed auction outside. Failed auction here so far. No acceptance. Held RBS. Where do we go? View up. So, doop, back to here. Then it needs to make a decision. I would say this is sat there right now. Or if they're going for a bigger sell day, down here is possible. That's gap fill. I've got an interview after this, interestingly, or an interview for an interview. Don't think I've ever done that before. I've got an interview for an interview. We'll find out if I'm going to do a podcast. Apex asked me to do it, actually. They got in touch. So we'll see. We'll see if I fit the bill. Ken saying done for the day. I got 2.3 thousand on 150k eval. Nice work, dude. Yeah, Ryan, just move this to an M2 here just to clean it up a little bit for a second. We have XP points on here now. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I saw that this morning. I think that was like it auto updated. I don't know. Pretty cool though. I quite like it. Ken, prayers for Luna. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Ken. That is very much appreciated. I wish all of you and your families and loved ones well all the time. Never wish bad on anyone. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's for Benzinga. So I think Apex sponsor a show for Benzinga, and they want to do an interview on me because this would be my 5th month in a row taking payouts from them, I think. Nightbot's on it. Yeah. No, I don't. I think I don't know. I've never seen it before. Maybe I put it on and didn't even realize I put it on, but I quite like it. All right, back to view up. So that initial balance trade, again, not a trade that I took, but you had a failed auction outside of the initial balance. You had a reclaim of the initial balance. This gives you a cheap long opportunity versus the IB to here. So your target 1, target 2, beyond this, your runners. All right, this is runner territory. This is your main objective because you're in downtrend. This is an IB. This is an easy money. Well, an easier money. We see this very, very regularly. Back to VWAP for a back test of VWAP. What we do next is important. Either they sell down or we start doing this move here. Why do I always say to be zoomed out? Because look where we're bouncing from and understanding why. What is this? Talk about this all the time. Those in Discord, we did this lesson. Resistance becomes support. All right, really simple. Just keep it simple. Or you ICT traders will just go, oh, it's an order block, order block, order block. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's supply, supply, supply. You make these short sellers become demand. It's the same principle. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's just a way of understanding how the market works. Market works in waves. Here's your wave, 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 wave. Okay, unless we fail up here and make a lower high followed by a lower low sequence, then we're not in a higher time frame sell. Doesn't mean we can't go into one. We absolutely can go into one, but we're not technically in one yet. Okay, if I end this Q&A, will it show me what people have asked? Or then nothing's been asked, maybe. Still learning it all. Okay, selling off VWAP there. So retesting this initial balance low. Now, this is key now. This is key probably for the rest of the day here. ES rejected that trend line we just talked about. We didn't even get there on NQ up here. ES came up to here and rejected it. What we do now is important because this is where we failed the auction. If they hold this, this will be a higher low, and then I'd expect this. If they fail under here, then I'm going to expect lower prices for the day. Yeah, Nvidia looks great. B-Tool, how did I learn trading? Through the longest route possible, probably. I should probably do a video on... I didn't even see the QA appear. Maybe it popped up. I missed it. Oh, that's weird. How did I learn trading? Well, back in 2000... God, how old am I now? Back when I graduated university, which is half my life ago now. That's a scary thought. I was interested in becoming a trader. So my best friend and housemate was a trader originally at Morgan Stanley, and then left there and went to Standard Bank, which is a South African bank based in London. And I lived with him. I was always interested. And some of you, this feels like newsy how that just moved. Book just thinned out. Give me 1 second. We're going to get back onto that. Some big market orders flying around here. Truth Social post. I believe my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. Is that? No, that's not moving it. Texas results. I don't know, maybe just a player stuck. Notice how we're holding that initial balance. There's a chance for this to be a high-low. So, yes, anyway, sorry. So I was always interested, and I had a, how should we call it? I come from a broken home, let's put it that way. So I didn't have much relationship with my father, but I knew he was a trader at Merrill Lynch. And so I think I was always fascinated with it because of that. It felt like a way to sort of be connected. So I attempted, yeah, I'll do it in the podcast as well. I attempted to sort of get in touch and showed my interest and knew what I was in. And then I started interviewing. So I went to Dubai, had some interviews, and also in Cairo and London. And I met with a guy called Marwan, who was head of emerging markets at Morgan Stanley when I was like 21. And Marwan took me out for dinner in Knightsbridge, and he sat me down and he literally said, the first thing you need to do before you consider anything is read this book. And he put Market Wizards in my hand at 21 years old, which was like, went straight over my head reading that the first time. I was like, what is a commodity? What are they doing trading wheat? I really had no idea. So I'm glad he did that because it put me on to the start of that journey. And then I actually got offered a job in Dubai from one of the places I'd gone and interviewed at. And by that time, my life had taken a different direction and my music career was starting to take off. And so I left the finance world behind and went and had a very good music career. I was very lucky. But as I made money in my music career, obviously I wanted to do something with it. So at the time, I was using a platform called eToro. I don't know if any of you know that, so maybe some of you in England know that. So in eToro, what you can do is you can trade your own account, or you can basically put your money following other people. So say I'm a trader on eToro, you can bet on me and it will automatically copy my basket. So if I'm buying Nvidia today, you will start buying Nvidia today. I started doing that and I started becoming interested in it, and I pissed away a fair amount of money. Or at the time, fair amount of money. So I thought, okay, I need to start learning this. So I'd say back in 2016, 2017, 2018, I started really like knuckling down, diving deeper into it, started doing courses 2018, 2019, and then just found my footing over time, just experience. I didn't really have a mentor. I've been in lots of Discords. I've done lots of courses. I don't think there was any one specifically that really shaped how I trade. The markets move a lot. I had to learn some hard lessons. Market environments change, and like strategies that were working for sometimes stopped working. COVID, for example, if you were trading standard deviation, expansion, mean reversals, mean reversions, they stopped working during COVID. We went from 2 sigma to 3 sigma to 4 sigma to 5 sigma on small caps very quickly, for any of you that remember those times. And yeah, so I moved. I was in rooms like Investors Underground and stuff like that, and yeah, just took my time and started developing my own strategy, taking things from that I'd learn as I go, like Anchor VWAPs, Brian Shannon, EMAs, like loads, millions of people that trade EMAs, but I do them based on Fibonacci's because I really like fibs. And they stopped me guessing tops and bottoms, and that's historically where I lost most of my money, is trying to guess a top or a bottom in the market. So that's why I trade with set strategies based on weekly models, initial balance rotation, and order flow based on EMAs and anchors. Hopefully that makes sense. I wish I had a mentor. It would have sped things up very quickly, I would have said. Even if you're not going to use me as a mentor, I would strongly advise you get a mentor. It took me much, much longer to really get to grips with the markets. eToro is very famous here in the UAE. Is it really? It's on the Nasdaq now. It got floated. I think last year. I remember seeing it. I was thinking that would do well. I was also thinking, I was watching this. Those of you interested, I've been watching Bull on a daily to think about buying it. All right, and I'll show you why. You can already see. The only thing is they've got a lot of paper. They can do a lot of offerings. So big move here. This day here was a big offering. We have a shelf in this market, but I know this company. This is Webull, and if you look at this and you look at Hood, same type of company, and look at the early days after IPO on Hood. IPO'd at 38, gapped up to 95. I remember this day. Broke down. I remember being short here. Look at this recovery pattern. And we're at all-time highs now. And once it breaks out, it's going to go. So think about this as a pattern and the bottoming shelf here. And now think about Bull. If I can get back to it. There we go. All right, so I am interested in Bull. Now, the thing is, it might not be done on the bottoming shelf. It might be that this is not the shelf. And we need to move lower first. But I am interested in this as a market long term, because I think retail investment's just going to keep coming into the market. And I think Webull is a market leader. Does eToro, what's eToro's ticker? I've never actually looked at it. Slapped. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. I wouldn't be touching that anytime soon. But yeah, anyways. I've gone on a tangent. Okay, so testing trend line, like we talked about. There's your initial balance hold. We just talked about this. If you're an IB trader, there's your initial balance hold. There's your cheap long. You're now 40 points up from that. You should be partials here. And anything else above here is expansion for that runner to go. But if you took that initial balance long, well done. Makes sense, doesn't it? Boom, 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 boom. Clear out the liquidity, turn around, inverse head and shoulder, back to IB, back to VWAP, take some profits, hold your runners. And I would hold your runner for all the way up here. I honestly would. There's a chance you will get it. There is a chance you will get it. Yes, JD, I did. I've read every edition of those Market Wizards. I love it. I love it. It's inspiring. I tell you what, the common thread from it is one big trade. It's knowing your market and being ready for one big trade. And I'll tell you another book which is kind of similar that you might like. Let me get my Audible up. Fooled by Randomness by Nassim Taleb. Good read. Really good read. BUW on the initial balance. Nice. Ryan saying that eToro always shows up on his YouTube ads. Yeah, it's because you watch me here and you're interested in finance and you trade out of Ireland, so they'll know that. The initial balance is the opening hours range. So there's your hourly high and this is your hourly low. So if we think 10 o'clock, sorry, 10:30, what am I talking about? 10:30, but 10 o'clock was the low, 10:30 is here. This range here to 10:30 is your initial balance. So when we fail outside of this range, right, we come down, there's no trade to further downside. Now, why was there no trade to further downside? Well, because there's higher time frame demand here. So shorts get stuck trying to trade the IB extension, but they ignoring this blue line. This is what I'm saying. This is previous week low. Sorry, previous week high right here. Old all-time highs, which means what? We went over it. R, B, S. This is why it's been a blue box. So it's highly probable we would fail the expansion under it. We trade up. We pull back in. This is a long trigger, cheap trade off IB back to VWAP. Now you've got downtrend. If we base here, the only liquidity left to search for is upside. So you can hold your runners for upside if you took that IB. Hopefully that helps you all. One thing I do like doing is trying to teach as I go. Yeah, Schwager does, the author. Yeah, he's got tons of books. That's a good idea, Coop. I'll put that in there. No worries, Kim. Yeah, I think so. I think this is looking to drive higher right now. The only thing I'd be aware of, obviously, ES is also bouncing. I'll show you the chart I'm looking at. Is bouncing off this high time frame demand, but it's still underneath its IB. All right, so you've got relative weakness in the other markets. But yes, there is possible flag and go rotation, because if we think about where the liquidity is, right, here is the good buy in. I'm just going to move this to like a 5 minutes so we can just see it a bit clearer, so we think about how this market works. Okay, yesterday in towards the after hours, we drifted down into VWAP. Nvidia news comes and we go on big squeeze, breakout of all-time highs. We then pull back to where? What's this? Everyone knows by now. You trade with me, you know. RBS. We bid, there's your inverted right shoulder. We bid, there's your inverted right shoulder. We bid, we take out the highs, we pull back, we trap shorts in who go short double top, and we take them out this morning. Now, just before the open, I think it was just before the open. Yes, just before the open. What's this? That's your liquidity trend. All right, so we wash out those buyers, make a new time high. When we get this fail at new time high, it's profit taking. So what's the job there? Wash out this level here. All right, so we break this level, still the liquidity. We're in downtrend, but now we've retested this level here. All right, so we expect buyers to attempt to hold that for a rotation. So if we start bidding here and building liquidity here, it's opening up this room to go higher, isn't it? It's opening up that for higher prices at the moment. And it's repriced this big kill candle. When you see this get repriced, you know shorts came piling in here. More shorts chased under IB, more shorts chased under previous week high. These shorts get squeezed out. These shorts get squeezed out. We reprice here. This should go upside from this point on. It's got no reason to come down unless ES fails this initial balance and previous day high retest. But I mean, looking higher time frame, it's very push-pull. What do I mean? Push, pull, push, pull, push. It needs to base, not pull at this point. It needs to base for a new push. Take out the high. You don't want to see another pull down inside. You don't want to see that. If you're long, you want to see it hold this volume shelf and break out of the high. 30 minutes left, folks. Liquidity still up high, 75, 180, 190 right now on the book. I don't think I'm going to trade again today. It's not that I don't like what's setting up. It's more that I'm trying to stay composed. In my head, on my PAs, I'm up 1, 2, like 2,500, something like that. So I think in the end yesterday I was down 6.5. So for me right now, it's like get that base hit under my belt, take that like need to overtrade, to overpush away, come back in the market tomorrow. Hopefully we get a weekly model tomorrow. Moving into Wednesday, we've got PPI tomorrow morning. We get a weekly model tomorrow. If I get an A+, I'm going to be more willing to take it, knowing that, hey, you traded well the day before. You're not on tilt. I've proven to myself I'm not carrying like a hangover. It's easy to carry a hangover. Have any of you had that before? You experienced that before? I don't mean an alcoholic hangover. I mean like a emotional hangover. You have a bad day on like a Monday, you try and mentally reset, you come to the charts on the Tuesday and you haven't actually been able to shake that feeling off. And you ignore the fact that you've still got that feeling, which means you are not trading the charts. You are still trading your emotions from the day before. And sometimes hangovers can last a long time, especially if you have like some form of PTSD. You know, if it's a re-trigger of an old event, or if it's a huge loss for you, you know, it can last a while. No, Apex will not move me to live because I won't let them. You're given with Apex, you're given the choice. You're given the choice. They're doing all these things asking, but I'm pretty sure you're given the choice. I will remove all my money out rather than trade live with Apex. Why? Because if I'm going to trade live, I want to trade on my personal account where there's no rules at all. Simple as that. If I'm going to trade my own money, I'm going to trade it on my account. So if I want to DCA, I can DCA. If I want to swing overnight, as long as I've got margin requirements, I can swing overnight. B-Tool, 100%. Some Fridays with a loss would haunt me through the weekend. Yeah, I talk about that a lot, B-Tool. I talk about that a lot, and I totally agree with you. The worst day of the week to lose, or the worst 2 days, are the Mondays and the Fridays. But the Fridays definitely, because you've got to then go and spend time with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and you feel like a piece of crap, don't you? You're sat there thinking, why did I take that trade? Why did I make that trade worse? Why didn't I leave the day when I was up? Why? And you have to deal with that all weekend. Totally agree with you. Does Apex have live? Yeah, so it does. There's very few traders that trade it. It's different to the other accounts. Normally, the live, they move you to live when you get in your sixth payout. They will give you the opportunity to either take all your money out on that sixth payout or move to live. The reason I like Apex over all the others is that you can actually pull all of your money out. I saw a strat recently, 90% of money lost by retail traders happens on a Monday. Yeah, probably. They're at the charts ready for that dopamine hit, and they're like, okay, bye. It would make sense. It would make sense. Few other things to cover that I haven't really talked about. Top left of the screen, you can see all the best deals right now that I promote. Now, I have created a new price comparison site on firms which I think have potential, and I've ranked them. If you go to propfirmcompare.net, the links are down below, you can see all the firms. They're not all my favorite firms. I rank them in order. The top 5 are my favorite firms by some way. But you can see the other firms. And if you're interested in trading them, I have put coupon codes in there. Right, so I've tried to make it nice and easy to understand. It's a bit of a soft launch, but you can see it. Let's put it up on this screen. All right, so everything's up here. Top 10 firms, all ranked. And then you've got best instant and all the coupon codes. Everything's there for you. All right, make it nice and simple. So if you're ever wondering which one to go for, and there's some information on all of them as well. Would you trade live with any other props? I'd rather not trade live with any props ever. It doesn't make sense to me to do that, but yes, if required, of course. But this whole narrative of we're doing this to move you to live to help you. No, you're not. That's not your business model. Your business model as a prop firm is to make money from losing traders. Unfortunately, that's the business model. Let's not pretend it's another business model. That is the business model. I'm sorry. All these people want to come out saying let's band together and this is what. No, that is not the business model. The business model for prop firms is to make money from traders that lose. That is their business model. Your business model is to not be one of the traders that lose and use a very cheap way of entering the market to extract good money from it. If you want to trade live, you are better off putting that money in your own account, in my honest opinion. But that's how I see it. If I get moved to live on some of these other accounts, then that's fine. I will trade those as they see fit. But things like the firms where you've had guys make hundreds of thousands of dollars in prop firm money, basically sim money, get moved to live and have $100,000 account and then be told can only lose $3,000. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's not your money. It's their money at that point. So that's where the issue comes. So yeah, I don't like the idea of it. And I think if you ask most guys that trade prop, they'll trade their own account on the side. Like I have an investment account that I trade in. It's my money. I'm not doing it with anyone else. I'm certainly not going to do it with a broker who owns a prop firm and owns some charting software. I tell you that. I'm certainly not going to do it with that person because that is the biggest conflict of interest I've ever heard of. Okay, market orders coming in. They're still trying to get us up to 23,170, 23,175. There are some prop firms on my prop firm comparison site which do use just Project X. I've made it clear that's not how I like to trade, but I know seems like many of you absolutely love it, and each to their own. I'm not going to stop you guys from doing it. It's just not my preferred method. I would much rather trade on NinjaTrader using Tradeovate. For me, it's the best answer. Direct access, good charting, nice and clean. And if you're on holiday or on vacation and you want to trade on your phone or your laptop or whatever, you just log into Tradeovate on the web base. Nice and easy. Alex, do you watch ES and NQ charts? Yeah, all the time. So on these screens here, what you're seeing, and then H1, M30, daily. On this screen here, ES, SPY, QQQ, VIX. On this screen here, bookmap. Okay, I'm going to use a bathroom. You guys have 20 minutes, and that's it. Well, let's call it less because I've got to get off. You got 15 minutes to share this stream with your friends and get these likes up to 100 if you want the giveaway. All right, so I'll give away a free Apex account, and if you get me to 100, I will give away 50% off my course for one of you. All right, be right back. All right, still holding VWAP, breaking out outside of that trend line like we talked about. Like I said, hold your runners, probably a good move up. So let's think about this as S&R. Make it really simple. What have we had? There's your low. What's this pulling back to? What's this probably going to try and do? Something like this would be really nice for you. All right, what's this? Resistance becomes support. All right, really simple, super duper simple, folks. Once they slow down with the markets and they stop doing nonsense, it gets a bit easier. This is looking to drift upside. Your key for that drift upside will be a reclaim. Make sure this is on. Will be a reclaim of that initial balance low on the ES. All right, that's probably your key. B-Tool, what are you asking here? What's the benefit of doing that? Watching ES and NQ. I basically trade them like I trade all of these as a pair. I'm looking for low hanging fruit all the time. Right, the trades I want are low hanging fruit trades. I don't want to get into something that's complicated and hard. I want the easy money each and every day. So what does that mean? If I'm trading NQ and ES goes and takes a low hanging fruit and then turns around, which is what you've seen today, then it becomes problematic for me to be thinking about any more continuation. What do I mean by that? This here is your gap, right? This is your cash gap. ES has done this and is trading back to IB. So once ES takes that, I'm now thinking, okay, I don't know if we've got much more for NQ to go down because ES is already showing a response to try and turn around. So that's why I watch both. Why do I watch the ETFs? Because they don't show me all the overnight nonsense. So I can see true cash gaps on ETFs. And sometimes we get divergence between them. And then I watch the VIX because I want to make sure we have confluence between the spiders and the VIX. They need to be doing the opposite. There are times when they don't do the opposite. Those become no trade situations for me. I'm not going to be risk on or risk off if the VIX and the S&P are doing the same thing. Yeah. Let's have a look at this volume. I feel like it's just dying. Yeah, just fully tapered off. I mean, this is not really what you want to see. Daily breakout volume. No follow through. I know we've got a lot of time left, but I want to see this bar like up here. All right, if we're thinking that this is going to hold, I want to see this volume close high and us close high on the day. If we're going to think about this potentially holding for continuation. Otherwise, if we do something where we trap volume up here and we gap down tomorrow here and we leave an island high, then I'm definitely looking for short rotation later in the week. I'm interested on what everyone else's favorite prop firms are at the moment. Like, who are you enjoying trading with? Who's your favorite firm to trade with right now? And why? And it can be any reason. Maybe you like Project X and you like trading with a firm. Maybe you like straight to funded. Maybe there's one firm you're getting lots of payouts from. I'm really enjoying trading Apex at the moment. I feel like comfortable trading them with them, getting regular payouts. So I really enjoy them. Outside of that, top three or Tradeify. Take Profit Trader, Apex, and next will be Trade Day. Apex, Beetle says, good customer service. Gatney says, I think I'll go to Apex, always use Top Step, but it's expensive. Yeah, it's priced way too high. It doesn't need to be that high. The competition is too good out there now. Yeah, exactly, Coop. I agree with you. TPT hands down, Kirk says, yeah, TPT is very, very good. Daily payouts is very, very good for that. Very good. You can use code FLOWZone. Right now, we'll get you 40% off TPT, no activation fee. Everyone always asks that. What ATM strategy do you use on your NT? And I always think, like, I will answer, but doesn't it depend what account size you're trading and what the rules are that you're trading for what your TPT is? I'm just saying. So, like, if you copy it and your account size is smaller or you don't have as much of a buffer, it'd be a problem. Normally, what I do, my TPT is set to 30 points stop instantly and like 60 points profit, and I move it. The reason for that is normally I'm trading where the ATR is 30 or less. So, like, if I'm getting in here on a limit, I will get in and it's going to allow me 30 points down. Right, and then I'll move that limit instantly here. But I know if I get caught in some news I'm not ready for, I've got a max loss prepared. And then my take profit is going to set way up higher. And then again, I'll move that limit to the pivot point I want. So it's normally 30 and 60 points. TPT, House says, trustworthy. Tradeify, funding ticks, just started. Yeah, I got funding ticks code. I've not used them yet. Let me know how you get on there. Ryan, I love Tradeify in the journal. Yeah, the back end on Tradeify is really good. Bowden, I'm liking trade days. Make sure you can get the consistency. Yeah, I'm the same. I've got a few like you saw yesterday. They're up today as well. So obviously torched some yesterday, but I should get these past. Well, I've got 5 days left to do it. It might take a bit longer, but whatever. And then we're into same day payouts again. There's trade day really good for that and very cheap. Very, very cheap. So all of these firms that we're talking about, they're all available. You can check them out at propfirmcompare.net. All the best codes are there. So if you never see it in these videos underneath, if you're struggling to find the code, just head over there. Everything's there. All the money that gets made on those affiliate commissions always goes straight back into the stream. Always trying to improve the stream. Like you can see this week, we've got new borders and trying to make it easier and better to see. New lighting coming next. So you're back to Globex here. Tim, whoa, after getting hurt bad on Globex run up, I now went green. Thanks for your teaching, Alex. You're welcome, dude. Good work. Alex, do you reckon that when one purchased your course, he could trade like you? Do you teach entry models? Yeah, everything's on in the course. Absolutely. It's 20 hours long. And it's not just the course. Guys and girls in here will tell you the education doesn't stop at the course. The course is to teach you. Yes, Mo, exactly. Sorry, I'm going to get back to that. That's why I asked you, because previous low swings always vary. So you essentially, yes, exactly that, Mo. I'm basically setting on an ATM, I'm like, worst case scenario. I'm not willing to lose more than this. Because if I put a trade on and it instantly takes me out, it means something has gone horribly wrong in the market. So yeah, that's exactly it, Mo. Exactly it. Adam, do you reckon, and get back to that, do you reckon when someone purchases your course that they can trade like you, do you teach entry models? Yeah, everything's in that. I teach everything beyond what I trade. Okay, like you would have seen, my favorite trades, I talk about it all the time, are pro trend trades. It's arguable, it's arguable that this is trying to set up for a pro trend trade because we've been in a downtrend. This is high time frame RBS. All right, this is a level where we're starting to break out, and ideally the market wants to move up here. It's just that today I'm in a base hit mentality because of what happened yesterday, and I go over that. But that, like I said, everything is taught in the course, but beyond the course, I still teach. So last Friday, we did like a private lesson. So if you've done the course, you get access to the Discord. Last Friday, we did a private lesson after the close. That lesson gets posted in Discord for Discord members only. And we go over everything. We specifically went over entry criteria and what makes an A plus and what doesn't on Friday. And then it played out yesterday. All right. And the nice thing is, even when Alex is having a terrible day, there are some fantastic traders in the room, like Coop. Resistance becomes support, and we went through entry criteria, and he nailed it. All right, straight from the private lesson last week. All right, so there's the benefits go way, way beyond doing the course itself, I would say. To trade like me, you just need time. You've just got to be patient and give it time. Most traders fail because they're not patient enough. They're in a rush to make money. I know I'm talking to all of you right now. If you're that trader that's in a rush to make money, if you're trying to force your way into trades because you need that big winning day, both for your ego and maybe for your bank account to pay for some bills or whatever, you're going to fail. You're going to fail because you will only make big money when you are calm and collected and you've earned the right to make big money, which means you need to be taking A plus setup, which means you need to identify what that A plus setup is, and you need to let that trade work and not oversize. The fastest way to make money in the markets is to slow down. I say it all the time. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. All right. This is not a sprint. You need to turn up every single day. You need to collect your 10,000 hours. All right. To become a master of anything, you need 10,000 hours. Doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're a sports professional, whether you work in marketing, whether you're an engineer, it doesn't matter what you are. You're going to need 10,000 hours. That's why we go to university or we do courses or mentorships or whatever it is. It takes time, right? It takes time. Some people get lucky, right? Some people will get lucky. They will not have the skill base. They will put a massive trade on and they will make a huge amount of money. But then the next day, they're going to lose that money. And the next day, they're going to lose more money. And the next day, they're going to lose more money because now they think they're good and they want that dopamine hit of that big, big winner, and it's never going to give it to them again. I love that, Tyson. That is a great saying. You can't scale chaos. What a great saying. Never heard that before. Really good. So you can see here we're in a liquidity building phase. Lower time frames trying to go bearish, but if we move up to other time frames, it's going to look different. Why are we in liquidity building? Because we're trapping between the algorithms right now. Higher time frame, lower time frame algo. B-Tool saying I take far less trades than before after finding Alex. That's good. It's good. Now you just need to make sure those trades, more of them, either more of them are winner than losers, or your winners make you more money than the losers. That's the key. You're either one of those two things or you're both of them. Ideally, you're both, but that can take time. I tell you when I started finding more success, when I started losing more. that might sound really backwards. When I used to go on winning runs, I can remember going on in small cap days, going on like a 30-day run of every trade was a winner. All that meant is I got addicted to the dopamine of winning. What it didn't mean is that every trade was a good trade. So instead of being fixated on the process of that trade being good, I got fixated on that trade being a winner, which meant I was adding into losers to try and make them become winners. How did that journey end, that 30 days? Well, on the 31st day, I blew up everything I'd made that first 30 days. And I justified it in my head. Well, you've done it the first 30 days. You just make it all back again. You just break even. It's not how trading works. It's terrible. Once I was willing to lose more consistently, all right, then it became much easier. I take more losses now probably than ever before, or break evens or whatever, but I've got used to it because I'm like, I know I can get back in that trade again. And I used to really struggle with that. I'd fight a trend or I'd fight the position I'm in. I have to be right, I have to be right, I have to be right, I have to make money now. I'm like, well, you're wrong. Take it off, give it a couple minutes. If it sets up, you take it again and you either make money or don't. And that is the quickest way to success. It might sound really backwards, but you've got to start accepting the losses. You are not going to be right 100% of the time. There is absolutely nothing in the world where anyone has been right 100% of the time. I've talked about this so many times before on here. If you are a competitor, like if your nature is competitive, if you've played a good level of sport or gaming or whatever, you are going to struggle with this because you are going to have that competitive ego streak where you're like, I have to be right. Whether you admit it or not, that lives in you. And this, what we're doing here, these markets, they don't give two flying Fs about your ego. Their job is to take your money. You need to become their liquidity. So if your ego gets in the way and you start doing the moron trade where you're adding more and more and more and more and more when you're actually in a loss, you're adding to a loser, it's going to wipe you out. What you have to be okay with is putting a trade on, having the trade thesis there. Okay, I'm long for this. Like now, let's say my trade thesis. Where's my long? Okay, I'm going to get long above here. I'm going to risk this, and I'm going to look for that high of day. I need to be willing to accept this loss. All right, I have to be willing for this. What I cannot then do is go, oh, nah, I'm not going to take that loss. I'm not willing to eat that loss. I'm going to add. I'm going to add. I'm going to add. I'm going to add. And then I'm going to get out for a little bit of profit here and be like, yes, I won that trade. That is not how to trade. That is how you will get stuck. Because one day you're going to add, and 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 this market is going to keep going down, and you're going to blow everything up. Do not get in the bad habits. So being willing to lose and accepting the loss is absolutely everything. Exactly, Ryan. Win or learn. Yeah, quite right. Quite right. You got to learn from your defeats. We learn more in life from errors we make or problems we face. And if you're not learning from those, then and you're doing the same thing over and over again, well, that's literally the definition of an insanity, isn't it? Lyndall says, courses dope. You just need to give yourself time to practice what you learn. That's it. That's exactly it. Chris says, I'm reading Trading in the Zone right now, trying to rewire my brain on losses. Yeah, absolutely key. Great book. Great book. Michael Douglas, great book. Coop, have to bounce. See you in Discord later. No worries, mate. Take care. Yeah, I've got. Oh, it's gone quick. I've got to get off here in a second as well, folks, because I've got that interview in like 25 minutes. Are we there yet? We're not there. I can't do a giveaway until we get to 100 likes. This will roll over again if we don't do it. I'll give you. I mean, we'll go till 5 past. So you've got 2.5 minutes. We need 10 more likes, and we'll do a giveaway. Otherwise, I've got to get out of here, folks, and we'll just keep rolling this over. Yeah, read it. Read it, B-Tool. I might go back and read it. I've not read it for a long time. It would make you want to give up as a trader, though. It basically is. I won't ruin it for you. I won't ruin it for you. The clue's in the title. The clue is in the title. All right, back to VWAP. You got micro head and shoulders here. We're above trend line. These are the key levels. All right, if we do a double dunk and a reclaim, then we're going higher. If they rotate under here, then there's a chance for this wash, and these would be the targets. All right, those are the only plays for the rest of the day. So if we trap underneath here, all right, remember we've just broken out. All right, if we go 1, 2, and trap, then we're going to go for New York and higher day. If we, why is this gone up there? I don't even know how to do that. How do I move it back? Here we go. Jeez. Oh my God, what's going on? Can we get that back? There we go. Yes. So either this double taps in, protects these lows, traps to go higher. If we start getting stuck under here, then the next leg down, it will be to fill these gaps. All right. So there is potential. I wouldn't be short in it, but if we get under here and there's potential and you see ES being weak, trying to drag the market down, there is that potential. You will need to watch the mag. Right now, I would be sort of leaning upside, to be honest. This is building a bit of a quasi to try and get upside. Let me draw. Whee. All right, this is what it's trying to build. So any trap under here which reclaims, that is your signature to go upside at that point. So that's what I'd be looking for. That would be my main play I'd be looking for. Yeah. No offense, Alex, but you're not allowed to touch my keyboard or mouse. Do I slam them? Ryan, yep, I started the course last March and only just now this week I have a funded account. Yeah, Glenn told me about that. Congrats, Ryan. We should be celebrating that. You need post your certificate in the Discord. We need to celebrate guys like you. That's amazing. If anyone knows it, yeah, Ryan started the course in March. Is a professional fighter. Been working with him for a little bit, and he's just quietly been plugging away. All right, and it takes some time, and now he's funded, and he has the ability to earn extra income now, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right, team. I'm going to get out here, prep for this interview. Do you know what? I feel mean doing that. We give one Apex account away. We give one away. We give one away. Let me set this up. Okay, what I need you to do, I'm going to have to set this up differently. You need to follow this on Twitter, or X as it's now called. And I'm going to do a post. You will need to repeat that, retweet that post. Let me get the post up. So like and repost it. go. So it should be pinned to the profile there. Just like and repost that. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to do that. So follow it, like and repost, and I'm going to pick a winner. I'll give you guys a couple minutes just to do that. The link's above. If you need me to do that again. How do I share that with you? Like the page, like that post, and repost it. Be back in just a minute, okay? All right, team, last chance. I'm going to pick this winner. If you're not already, make sure you're following me on Twitter as well, because I'm always doing stuff like this on there. At Flowzone Trader. Okay, let's see who wins this. Set this up on here. Twitter. Paste. Go. Okay, the winner is Russ3333. Russ3333. Hopefully you're here. Are you here, Russ3333? I don't know who that is from chat. Are you here, Russ3333? Make yourself known if you're here, mate. Otherwise, we're going to re-roll. We give you 30 seconds to make yourself known. In chat, just say, yep, it's me, and then I'm going to DM you there. But otherwise, we're going to re-roll. See if I can, if you know it's you. Russell Cooper. Russell Cooper. There he is. There we go. That's me. Okay, nice, Russell. Just needed to make sure you were also in chat. Okay, I will DM you the code. If you can make sure you're following at Flowzone Trader, I'm going to DM you the Apex code. All right, so you can choose any Apex account of any size that you want. We'll roll over the Flowzone giveaway 50% for tomorrow when we have 100. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna message you on there. Just make sure you're following Flowzone Trader. For everyone else, appreciate you showing up. Thanks for being patient with me. Thanks for understanding about yesterday and everything. I appreciate it. And we'll go again tomorrow. Hopefully, we get a nice weekly model tomorrow. We'll see what we get. And until then, be safe, be kind to each other, use hard stops, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on stream real soon. Take care.